everyone, welcome back to Rambling Ruth, where I talk about life's awkward little puzzles, like why autocorrect turns sure into sushi every time, or why a group of 8 becomes a group of 4 suddenly when the check comes. You can see where this is going, maybe. So today I want to talk about a controversial topic, well, at least to me, and that's splitting the check and navigating the money dancers. You know, the folks who suddenly forget how math, money, or reality works when the bill arrives. Or the one who always grabs the check and is outraged if you even think about suggesting to pay. So let's start with the I'll get it fighter. You know, the one who insists on paying every time. And you say, hey, let's split it. Or you ask the server if they can do separate checks. I mean, talk about a reaction. They act like you have just insulted their grandmother or firstborn child. They're offended, outraged, dramatic, and giving you the evil eye as they fling their credit card at the server. And full disclosure, I think I can be a bit like this, but only if I've already said, this is on me. And it seems to be generally accepted. Oh, sorry, I digress. So, I mean, this can get particularly dicey, especially if it's a family member. I mean, I feel bad if the same person is always picking up the check. I mean, don't you? I mean, I can pay for my own meal or occasionally pick up the tab for a group, and I do. But you feel like you're walking through a minefield sometimes. With family members, you can usually subtly figure out ways to kind of circumvent the awkwardness. You know, when you're talking about getting together and the suggestion of getting a bite to eat comes up, you can say, you know, I'd love to treat this time. Yeah, I want to get together, but, you know, I'll pay, you know. Or, you know, if you're going to treat for a special occasion. Don't get me wrong, I love it when I'm treated to a meal or special outing. It's when the whole unknown of who's going to pay that I really start getting anxious. Yeah, I'm weird like that. You know, then there are the escape artists. In many instances, I avoid going out to eat with a group like the plague. You know, the minute I've said yes, I instantly start worrying about what's going to happen when the check comes. Yep, even if it's weeks and months in advance. This particular issue hasn't happened to me in a long time, but I can recall several times in the past when I've gone out to eat with a group and one person got out of paying their portion, you know, and of course, it's always when everyone is on the same check, right? Yeah, we'll just split it, okay? You know, that person suddenly has to go to the bathroom or something equally subtle or devious, whatever they disappear. So because they are gone forever, either everyone pitches in to cover the deadbeat or one person covers them. You know, of course, they always assure you they'll pay you back immediately. Really? Don't be stupid. They ain't never going to pay you back. And they never do pay you back. Worse still is going out to eat as a group. And in your head, you've already decided, this is fine. I can deal with the whole nightmare of paying the bill because I'm only going to pay for what I eat and chip in for tip. Seems reasonable, right? I have a plan. You have a plan. And you're going to go and enjoy yourself. You order a dinner salad or maybe a bowl of soup and water. That's it. Your portion will be $25 or less. Nowadays, probably not less. Anyway, you're enjoying the table conversation until the stinking bill arrives. And your plan is shattered all to hell as that one obnoxious person says, let's just split it, okay? I mean, most people agree, but you pipe up and say, or let's just pay for our portion, you know, and suddenly the table goes silent and everyone's looking at you like you've suddenly grown a second head and you want to crawl under the table. I mean, I know you know what I'm talking about. You've been there, right? You know, and it goes without saying that the person who said, let's just split it, is always the one who ordered 4 appetizers for the table that you and only a couple of others don't touch, an expensive entree, and an adult beverage or two. Obviously they become the winner because their $150 bill now becomes $60, including tip. And your $25 meal, including tip, has now become $60. Or you're having a meal with another person and you haven't asked for separate checks and you haven't had the initial dreaded conversation about splitting the check. And when the bill comes, they just ignore it. Personally, we all know I'm a little off anyway, but I can't focus or enjoy anything after the check is set on the table unless I know ahead of time what to expect when the bill comes. I know that makes me a bit of an oddball, and you know what? I totally own that. Every bit of that. I've also been treated to a celebratory occasion and been assured that X, Y, and Z is all on them because it's my special treat. And I will only be responsible for A and maybe B. Sounds like a great plan, and I'm grateful for the special gift until I get a message with the amount I owe for my half of X, Y, and part of Z. Wait, what? What? And then I always think it's my fault that I somehow misunderstood their intention and wonder how the heck did I screw up thinking this was a gift. I go back over the conversations in my head, messages, etc., until I finally understand I didn't screw up. They likely had a change of heart when they figured out how much this is actually going to cost them. I wonder if this could be considered a type of gaslighting. Food for thought. Anyway, I know I should say something, but that's not in my nature, given anything to do with sharing the cost generally gives me the hives, to say the least. I will say, though, it stings, and for me, it puts a pall on the entire outing. Passive-aggressive much? Yeah, that's me. However, I promise you, I won't fall for that again. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not a cheapskate. I'm actually a fairly generous person. I just happen to think it's unfair to be forced to pay for either an agreed upon amount or for far more than my fair share. Come on, it ain't right. It just ain't. Ever co-hosted a party? Yeah, that sounds like a whole lot of fun until you find yourself wondering why you spent $200 and your co-host shows up with a bag of ice and a not very good playlist and then takes credit for the entire shindig. Come on. That's as bad as showing up to a potluck with a bag of M&Ms. Yeah, I know we weren't talking potlucks, but obviously it brought up a PTSD moment. Sorry, apologies for the digression. But again, rambling rude. So right now, you all might be thinking I'm cheap, petty, can't take me anywhere, and not a whole heck of a lot of fun. And in some instances, you'd be right. But I stand firm that talking about money, splitting the bill, sharing the cost doesn't make you rude, crazy, or a spoil sport. In fact, it makes you a grown-up, right? So, I'm saying pull up those big girl or boy panties and address those occasions by saying, hey, just want to make sure we're splitting things fairly. I'd really hate to not pay my fair share. That sounds believable, right? Or, I only had a salad and water. I'll venue my portion. And say it. Don't ask it. You don't want to leave any room for a, it's easier if we just split it response. Right? Because that's coming if you ask. You tell, you don't ask. So if someone has just offered to pay for an all expenses paid weekend away, send a confirmation text saying, hey, just want to thank you again for what's going to be an awesome weekend. Picking up the hotel and meals is going over and above. I tell you what, I'll drive, gas is on me, and a movie on Saturday. So there's your receipt, people. Thank you very much. It's all the proof you need. So I think all of those are simple, honest, and respectful. I mean, anyone who gets offended, it's their problem, not yours. Trust me, their problem. So whether you're dodging drama at lunch or dinner, or on a trip with the king or queen of memory lapses, or trying not to fight your second born over the check, you're not alone. When in doubt, ask for separate checks. End of. So thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, you deserve a medal. Like, subscribe, comment, and remember, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. See you soon. Bye.